Okay, so today's topic is basically that configuration backup. And we are learning the FortiGate firewalls. It means that the configuration backups in the FortiGate firewall, right? So that's what you're talking about, the FortiGate. If you anytime during the teaching, if you face that you have any question, you can ask me. Just write in the chat. Uh, I'll answer your queries. Okay. So just don't hesitate to ask any of the question. So the very first and important question is like why basically we need the backup, right? So there are sometimes there are the requirement that you need to restore, like you need to do the factory setting of your device. Factory setting, why we need? Sometimes what happens that because of some reasons you forget the password. This is like one of the requirement that why we need the backup. Okay, so let's suppose you forget the password of your device and you're not able to log on. So now you need to do the factory setting. And if you do the factory setting of your firewall, then obviously you need to do the same configuration once again. So you need a backup ready for that one. If you have that backup ready of your configuration, you can restore that and it will be working post you reset your password. So that's like what this is one requirement that you need the backup. Second requirement is like somebody made some changes on your firewall and changes on your firewall are like so impactful and that disrupted services, right? So impactful change it was. And if it disrupted your configuration, then what you are going to do, what you will do, you can just take the backups is your that have the previous backup ready, you will restore your old backups immediately and everything is set. You revert the changes what was just done, and because of that your services were down. So this is like another type of benefit we are having, that why we need the backup. Third thing, let's suppose you anyone any malicious attempt is there. Okay, and because of that malicious attempt, your appliance, basically your firewall, is not functioning properly. They made some config changes, they done some malicious things, and because of that your firewall stopped working. So in that case also, if you have the backup ready, you can revert it immediately. So these are the things that why we need backups. So this is clear that why we need backup. If you have any question, you can write in the chat. I will come back to you. Meanwhile, I'm going further. If you ask the question, I will come back to you. But I don't want to wait. And moving further, I will tell you that what are the places where you can store your backups. So the very first thing, first I take it just how we take it. So very first thing is like you can a person can log into the firewalls. They can collect the backups manually. Okay. Second thing, you can set up like a script for that, and they are taking the automated backups. Okay. But the thing is like you have to do the regular backups. It's really important. It should not happen that you took the backups for 5 years and you forget that. Like you need the regular backups to be done for the device. And these regular backups usually done on weekly. But if you do take it like daily, it's like too much load on your device, right? So if you are doing weekly backups and you are taking it manually, it means that if you have like less number of resources, then it's fine. Like let's suppose 5 or 10 firewalls, you can engage your resources to do it, take it manually. But if you have like large number of firewalls, like 500, 1,000, or 2,000, depending on your environment, if you have such a large number of the firewalls, in that case, it's better to set up the automated backups. If you set up the automated backups, then there are two ways that where you store it. You can store it on the shared drive within your premises. Another way, you can do it on the third party environment. So third party means that you uh, make a contractual obligations or agreement with any of the storage company, and there your whatever this automated backups you are taking, they are being stored on their servers. Now you will be thinking that why I will store my backups to the third party, right? Obviously that's like genuine question. So the purpose of doing is that, let's suppose anything malicious happened and everything is encrypted in the ransomware. So in that case, that some everything could be like encrypted, and you might it might be the case that you're not able to access your firewalls, or in fact like your whatever the backups you stored in somewhere in the shared drive, uh, you cannot recover them, right? So in that case, we to avoid such type of scenarios, you will store the backups at the third parties. Now what is going to happen, even if your environment is encrypted, or in fact uh, they are hit by the ransomware attack, then you will be safe. Your backups are safe, and they're stored in the third party environment, because your environment, everything in your servers is just encrypted, but you got it, and your data is safe on the place on the third party. So that's why we store all the backups or the important information or these configuration type of things to the third party servers. We do copy on our servers as well, but to safe side, that if something goes wrong in our environment, one of the copy is safe on the third party or in the cloud. Whatever you want, we can save that in the cloud as well. So we can use the S3 or another uh, storage services on the Azure. S3 is basically from the AWS, and you can use some Azure server services, storage services. Okay. And there you can place them. Whenever we are doing that, we make sure that that data is encrypted. Because if those are not encrypted, there are chances those third party can read that data. So that's why it is very important that you encrypt it, then only you save it. So you don't have to do anything additional in order to encrypt that. You can just simply enable that option of encryption in your firewall, and that you are done. Okay. So that was basically the theoretical part. We covered it here. In order to go for our lab scenario, so I'm going to my VMware, my EVNG lab. Okay. So I'm just starting my VMware. So I hope this is already logged on. Let me refresh my page. So it's pinging. So it should be reachable. Let me refresh it again. Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm on my firewall now. Start this. This is my CLI. So it's starting now. Let's okay. So it's showing the CL number there. Okay, and here, same thing I am going to do at the Chrome. So if I go to Chrome, or in fact, let's do on the here as well. It should be fine. Let me just check it out. Okay, let me down it here, and that IP address was 192.2.1.1. Oh, it's just 192.2.1.1. This was the like IP address of my firewall, and I think font size is quite high. So let me make it 100 so that it's usable for you. If you are not readable or the font size is small, you can message me. I will make it larger. Admin, and the password was admin123. All right. And so that's how basically we see the firewalls. And in order to take the configuration backup, you should be having the administrator privileges. If you don't have the administrator privileges, it will not work. Like you cannot take the configuration backups. So this is very important. If you have just read only or lower privileges accounts, you're not the admin rights, then you cannot take the backups. Okay. So in order to take the backups, you can go here at the top, right? You see, let me take my use my pen and delete this black color. Yeah. So you see this option here on the top right corner. Yes, admin section, right? Let me circle it 4 times so that you can view it. So you see that admin option, and in that admin options, we are having an option of the drop down right here. So on the drop down, there is the option of configuration. So from here, I can take the backups. If I go to the backup here, like there is two options. One option is local PC, that where we want to take the backup. Another is USB disk. So means like you can take the backups on the local computer. And if you have connected the USB disk to your firewall, then you can take the backup on the USB disk as well. But this USB disk option, you see that is a like gray color. It's not highlighted. So this is only highlighted whenever the disk is connected to your firewall. If it's not connected, it will be showing like this one. So because our environment is virtual, we are doing on the EVNG setup. So we don't have any dedicated or hardware USB connected to our firewall. So that's why it's on the gray color. So this time we are going to use it on the local PC. I go to the local PC, and there's two options, like you want to encrypt that backup or you don't want to do that. So as of now, I'm not encrypting that. I'm just clicking OK. All right. So click OK. As I click OK, it will instantly download the backup of the file. So now it has just downloaded it. So I'm trying to open it with the notepad. Just once. And this is the configuration, whatever I have just fetched it. So if you see carefully, whatever the configuration backup I have taken, that we can see it like host name, that what was the config version of the firewall. Okay, let me change the color. So the version of the firewall is like this. Okay, right? What is the uh, host name? Host name was somewhere like this. Yeah, this is a host name, FortiGate VM64 KVM, right? What is this time zone number? That is 4. Same thing, we can check it for like other configuration. Let's suppose we are going further, config system interfaces. So for the port one, currently we are having the IP address of this 211 dot something, right? 192.168.29.211. So that's how we can view all the configuration that what is already available on the firewall. We have this port 3 where we are having an IP address of 20.1.1.1.20. Allow access is there. So that's how we can view the configuration on the firewall. All the configuration. And next topic is like how to restore the backup. So another thing, like if you want to keep it encrypted, you can just enable this option. It will ask you the password, that what is the password you want to set. You can set the password 12345, 12345, and hit OK. So it will like encrypt it and then it will download it. But if you open this file this time with the notepad, you cannot read it because this is encrypted. If I click it here just once, you see that it's totally scrambled data. You cannot read that. It's not in readable format as we did in the previous section whenever the data was not encrypted, right? So that's what we basically do. Next thing is like how to restore the backups, right? So just backup, we just took it. Now I'm going to restore it. So I went to this same section, configuration, and now I'm going to restore it. So here I can go to upload and just go to the download section. And whatever I have just downloaded, I will put it here. I'm not putting any of the password, but I think this was the encrypted one, what I'm just trying to restore. If I hit OK, it is showing the error. It is saying that the invalid configuration or the password required. Why? Because it is the encrypted file and I did not provide the password. So the encrypted file cannot be decrypted without the password. Now I need the password. So I enter the password as 12345. So I'm putting it once again and trying to put OK. So let me close this ribbon. And now I'm doing OK. Let's see what happens. If I hit OK, then it is asking for restart. Okay. It does not ask, but it will ask. Don't worry. So it is now rebooting, right? So it's taking the system reboot. So now my system is rebooted, right? So I'm just doing the login once again, admin123. Same thing, I'm just logged on. And my firewall is up with the restore of the configuration, whatever I just took it before. So that's what we do it basically for the backup and restore. We can do via GUI. But if you want to do it via CLI, then you can also do that. There's no like restrictions in doing that. What you can do, you can go to log on to your firewall here on the FortiGate. Login as usual, admin 123. Okay. And the command is like execute config, sorry, execute backup, not execute backup, and then let's put the question mark. So there's like these options are available. Which of the backup you want? Memory backup, disk backup, config backup. So I'm going to do for the config backup. Okay. So I type config and then put the question mark once again. So for the config, these are the options available where you can put your backups. So you can save it on the flash drive. You can send it on the FTP server. You can put on the SFTP. You can do on the TFTP, USB mode, right? So all these options are available. This time I'm just trying to do FTP, though I have not any FTP server ready with me. So I'll just take any sample one. Obviously, it is going to fail, but I'm just showing that how you can execute the command to uh, take the backups. Okay. So I go to execute backup, config FTP, and let me put the question mark once again. Now it is saying that make a file name. That what of the backup file, name of the backup file you want to create. So I'm just taking the my backup. Okay, so this will be a file name, and you can also put the date, or in the like production environment, you can give the host name of that file and then the date. So I'm just giving for the my backup. But if you give for your firewall, you just give the name of your firewall, host name, and then underscore the date. So I'm putting this 11/11/2023. Okay, and I'm putting the question mark once again. So this time it is saying the FTP server IPv4 means that IP address of the FTP server. So I'm just putting the IP address of the FTP server, just sample one. I have not configured anything. I'm just giving any random IP. Okay. And here I put the question mark once again. Now it is saying the username of the FTP. Obviously, I think if you have used FTP, that every FTP server is having some username and password. So that's what it's asking. So I'm just giving common one, that is FTP user is my FTP password. And then it is I put the question mark, then it is saying the FTP password. So I'm going writing FTP user once again. That's my password. Okay. So my username is FTP user and the password is also FTP user. If I put the question mark once again, then it is saying optional password to protect the backup content. So it is like an encryption, right? So if you want to make that content as encrypted, you can give that password. But if you don't want, no need to worry. You can just leave it like as it is, and then you can save it. So I'm just giving 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so that's my like password to save the backup, and I hit enter. So it is saying that the send config file to FTP server via vdom root failed. So that has to happen because there's no FTP server like this 10.1.1.1. So it has to fail, right? Because it cannot send our config backup to that server. All right. If you have any question, you can ask me. But I think because of this festival, because today is Diwali, so I have just make this session small. But I can, if you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll be stopping in 2 minutes. Now, I don't want to stretch it because most of the people are so busy. I know that, and you might be traveling, and I'm also like so busy uh, because it's festival time and we have to do a lot of shoppings and all. So, and we are having the family gathering as well. So, in order to like be consistent as well, so that you do not break the rhythm of your learning, and also you enjoy your festivals. And if you don't have any questions, I will stop here, and I will say you happy Diwali in advance. It's tomorrow, but I'm just saying it today. And keep learning. Enjoy the festival as well. Don't learn during the festivals because it's like break time. We should be doing that as well. All right. So I don't see any question now. So I'm stopping here. And if you have any questions, you can reach me here, or you can also join the group. I'm posting the invitation of the group here because there I just keep on posting that how many Sometimes what happens that I'm not able to take the classes. So in that case, I just keep the updates on that WhatsApp group so that you may not be available or whatever the information, or you can ask the questions as well in there. So there's no restrictions there. That's for everybody. If you want, you can join that. Okay, so let me share the group invite with you. All right, here it is and goes to you. So if you don't have any questions, I'll stop here. See you next week, Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. Till that, bye bye.